too much fun. Kind of scan around Brian's garage. He looks like he's got a Christmas special Z50 over there. I don't know my K models on Z50s. What's this one, a K4 or 5?
K4.
K4?
74.
Yeah, beautiful. And then he's got a CT70H. Fantastic looking bike. Is that original paint, Brian?
It is original paint. The whole bike was in boxes when I got it. The guy had put it in the attic when he was younger.
Wow.
And it's only got 1,000 miles on it.
Wow.
With the title.
With a title. I don't know if I can get my... That is a really nice bike. Like I said, Brian's organized. Look at all these. He's got all these bins. He's got all these parts in. He's ready.
All the zinc plate and stuff's over here.
He's got a shelving unit over here where he has all his zinc plate. That's...
And then you can't forget the goodie.
Look at all that hardware he's collected and...
You can't forget the goodie box.
Oh, look, he's got his shelves of polished stuff over here too. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wow. New parts and polished parts. Pretty nice.
Okay, so Mike, you're going to appreciate this.
Oh, you got old drive-in theater
It's from the
speaker.
Stardust.
Oh, yeah, here in Seymour, yeah.
So
wow.
I had it all polished, and I got to put it back together.
That's
when I go to car shows, I'll just put that on display in my car.
That's cool. Hey, everybody, welcome to Mini Bike Mike's Garage. We are doing another on-the-road episode, and I am at my friend Brian York's garage, and he has purchased an X-Pro X25 125cc. It's a clone of a Honda CL70. What was it? 2 or 3 weeks ago, before Christmas,
yeah.
I posted on a Facebook page. Brian and I met a few years ago, basically through Facebook, and we've done some horse trading on bikes back and forth. And a few weeks ago, I found online this bike, and I was curious about it. And so I put out there, hey, has anybody bought one of these, know anything about it? Nobody really had. That I could see.
Not that I know.
And so after I posted that a few days later, I get a message from Brian. He says, hey, I pulled the trigger on that. So here it is. He got it in, and he asked me to come down, asked me if I wanted to come down and film an episode. And what we're going to do is we're going to uncrate it, unbox it, uncrate it, assemble it, and hopefully maybe even fire it up. And so we're going to do that. So follow along, and hopefully it shouldn't take more than about half hour, 45 minutes, and we'll have you fixed up. Take it out of the crate. We don't know what we're going to find, right, Brian? So hopefully we have enough.
There's nothing broke. Or,
hopefully we have the tools and...
Oh, man, this thing is...
I got this.
Well, so far everything looks intact. I don't see anything majorly messed up. Here's the keys. We'll go ahead and get them out of the way.
Okay.
Looks like we need to, all these bolts down here will have to come out. I think they're 10 millimeter.
Do you have a pair of wire cutters or anything like that to...
Over in that box, Devin.
just so I can start cutting some of the straps off. I
Yeah,
think I got it.
Yep, okay. I've got a knife here, too.
Okay.
Either way.
So it looks like it's fairly complete other than the front tire, the headlight, or not the headlight, the handlebars, and the, I see back turn signals that are on.
Well, I'll tell you what, these bikes, when they build them, they treat them pretty well. I don't know what would, this looks like it's 11.
So they've supported it pretty well. They put a crossbar that actually has bolts that mounted in where the handlebar, the mount with the handlebar, to keep the bike from moving around. Actually, hey, it's got a mile per hour speedometer on it, not a kilometer per mile per hour. That's actually pretty nice.
I did notice this is not fuel injected. It's
smog.
Yeah.
So this bike is actually okay to run in California, I believe.
think it'll take us longer to get it out of the box.
It probably will. Oh wow, it even comes with the certificate of origin in the package with the bike. I purchased 2 CT70 clones earlier this summer, and I didn't get the paperwork with the bike. It actually was about a couple weeks later that those things showed up.
What's funny is I got a piece of a bubble mailer in the mail, and it had the actual certificate of origin. So I think it's kind of funny. Maybe they sent me 2 of them.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the other one though. This one looks like a legit copy. The other one.
It's just
the wording was sideways.
Oh, okay,
like,
yeah.
And maybe they sent me that extra one just for another duplicate copy.
So we've got a box that came with it. It's got got the mirrors in it, and it's got the shift lever in it. Got the owner's manual, and it's got an assembly guide. We don't need that though. So.
No. We've been doing this long enough. I don't think we need.
We're gonna wing it, aren't we, Brian?
I think I made this a little bit bigger. It's not made for large count guys here. So. Okay. So, Mike, do you take the steel off these and use them for other projects?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah, it's nice to having this extra small. This steel is really good stuff to play with. Okay.
How we doing, Brian?
I think we're pretty close.
Okay, watch yourself.
Wow,
Don't
look at that.
scratch it or anything. Okay.
That came off rather faster than I
It
thought.
did. Get it out of the way. All right. Tell you what, is it fastened down any place else? I don't see anything. It's got the axle bolt is through a bracket up here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need to take that off.
Okay.
And then I think we can get it off of.
We've got the wrenches.
This is the nut for the axle. So this doesn't have disc brakes. This has got the old school, the drum brakes like the,
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about bleeding a brake line or doing anything like that.
That's
so
great.
I'm going to pick it up just a little bit. See if you can pull that bolt out right there. Okay.
Wow, this
Let's see if we can set it off of that. Come off of there.
Wow, it's just going too easy.
Brian, don't jinx us. Okay, I got my hands on. I'm gonna hold it here.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
we're gonna need you got like a knife or something. We got some plastic wrap. We're gonna need to cut loose before we. I gotta figure out how to use these knife.
There
you go. I got it.
I'm gonna ask my cameraman to bring me a scissor stand over there, the red one, underneath there, Devin.
Okay.
We're gonna set the front of the bike up on that, and then that way we put the wheel on.
There you go.
Make it a little easier for us.
You ready to try and pick that up and put it on there? What's it sitting on? Oh, we've got the exhaust and the brake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Pull it out, then we'll just put it on the motor part of it.
Oh, you got that. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're sitting just like that, aren't you? Okay, I got it. It's not gonna fall over.
That's gonna make it a little bit easier for us.
Yeah.
And then I got a socket if we want to bring it higher, we can. Right there. Yeah. Go ahead and bring that up some, Devin. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's probably good right there. That looks good. Love it when guys got the right tools.
Yes, sir. We makes it a lot easier and a lot faster when you're building bikes.
Brian, is there a front fender?
Yes, there should be. It's, Good question.
I'm not seeing a front fender, are you?
Nope.
I see it.
Do you see
It's
it?
in the wheel well.
It's in the wheel well of the back tire. There you
How
go.
creative is that?
There you go.
Wow. Okay. Good eye, Devin. I got the bike. I'm not gonna let it go.
Okay.
Okay. I think when I saw the video the other day, it looked like the guy was putting the fender on first. We gotta put that on.
Yeah, I would think the fender would probably need to go on first, and then.
What I may have to do is pick this up here.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, now we're good.
Okay, I got it.
That thing looks like it's about to fall off.
Mike's got it.
I got the bike. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a few more things on here than we thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me that, can you give me that reel back there?
Yep.
Okay.
Very, very similar frame to a CL70. Got the stamped sheet metal frame. It's got a low swept exhaust on it instead of the scrambler type pipe. Brian has brought in a pipe off of an exhaust off a CT70, and we're not going to put it on, but we're going to kind of hold it up there just to see that, you know, if you did choose to swap the exhaust, if you wanted the higher pipe, kind of give you a chance to look at that, see if it would fit or not.
I don't know how they did this.
You gotta squeeze it together.
Oh, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I don't know why they. There. Wow.
This isn't a Trail 70, is it?
No, it's not. I'm not used to this. Going from Japan to Chinese is different. One good thing about the bikes we build, I build more of the traditional, original 70s, and then Mike does the hopped up, modified stuff.
Yeah. The other difference between Brian and I are I'm more of a rattle can and simple fix. Brian does his bikes right. I will, for those guys on my channel, when we get this thing put together, I'm going to spin you around and you're going to see some of the bikes that he has here in his garage, and they're just absolutely stunning. He's having them professionally painted, and he has all his hardware re-zinced. Looks really, really, really nice. So Brian does a great job.
But there was years ago when I first started, I did a lot of stuff, and we didn't have the resources we have now to build these bikes. So you pretty much had to go on eBay and hopefully you could find a
Part to fit or
part that
work.
would fit that was old. Most of the time you got it and it didn't fit. It was all junk, and yeah, these holes don't want to line up real well. But things have come a long way in the last.
Yeah.
And when Mike and I started doing these bikes, they were $200, $300, $400.
Yeah. Yeah, those days are gone, aren't they?
Yeah, those days are way gone.
I think everybody's figured that out.
But it's funny, Mike and I were talking back and forth back when the craze started. I want to say probably 2012 maybe.
Yeah.
And we kind of laughed about how people were going with this, trying to figure out why they were so crazy about these bikes. But I guess if you think about it, a lot of them had them when they were kids.
Reliving their youth.
And reliving their youth, and they're my age, in their 40s and 50s now. Gee, Mike, that bolt don't want to go in there.
Doesn't?
I think I'll just
Okay.
wait and put it in later.
That's fine.
I don't want to hold everybody else up with the boring details of putting a bolt in.
Hey,
So
You know, that's the good thing about like the videos that we both do is we show real stuff. You know, and sometimes it takes a little longer to do some things, and you got to work around issues and so forth. So
I can't get the socket in there.
yeah,
That's okay.
hey, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. Heck, half of my subscribers, they yell at me if I post a 15-minute video. They want a 45-minute to an hour video.
They want full detail.
Yeah.
Well, this is not something new to me because I've done a few videos on life and motors. As a matter of fact, last year I did a Mighty Green with a 125 in it, and basically I hadn't done one for so long, and I wanted to do one, and it was a lot of fun. I also have another blue bike. It's a Honda CT70 3-speed, and I've got a motor on it also. It's going to be a 125.
Okay.
And I'll be doing the wiring on it and going through it, and it's been completely redone. It's modified, so it'll be a fun deal. I haven't got to it because I've had customer bikes going on, and trying to get those pushed through. My bikes always get the back burner because...
Oh, you mean your personal bikes?
Yeah, my personal bikes always get the back burner. Man, these things are long-winded. So, what's next, Mike? Think we'll put the wheel on there?
Yeah, we'll get the wheel put on.
Most people don't know on these there's an actual piece that sits inside here, and it's got tabs on it. This one has 4 tabs.
Yeah, they've got a little bit different setup.
It's a little bit easier. So you could take that and set that wheel on there, and those tabs line up really easy.
Yeah.
So I'll show you that here in just a second. I'll get this other screw in there. This is like, I guess I should just got a regular ratchet.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a fun project. Devin is going to be getting his license pretty soon. Well, actually, his permit. And we're going to wait till this summer. And then we're going to take this on some rides. We like to go out through Brown County out that way and do some riding.
Yeah, it's a perfect bike for that size. It's I've got 2 or 3 CL70s that I put Life in 125s on, and they are an excellent bike for just ripping around on.
And
is this one a manual? Yeah, this one's a manual 4-speed.
Yes.
So.
Oh, that's kind of weird. They didn't put the cables through here. So we'll have to take these back off and run them back through there.
Okay. Can you just put it on there for now?
Yeah, I can just do it for now.
Well, now you lost your speed again.
Yeah, it's probably gear. Okay, so the gear just slides in here like this. I think I put it in there backwards. I did. No, maybe not.
No, I think it goes that way.
No, it's fine.
I think it goes that way.
Okay, we'll make sure. Okay, so this.
Are we up high enough?
No, I think we need to go a little bit
Hey, Devin,
higher.
if you grab that ratchet and
Sure.
bring, just lift it up just a little bit
We'll just
higher.
lift it up a little bit more, and that way we can just slide it underneath there and make it easier. Yep, that'll work. Perfect.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay. Stick this baby on here like this, and go this way. Yep. They give you much room to. Yeah, this is definitely a learning curve. Okay.
And then there's a spacer and that axle bolt right there.
Yes.
Yep.
Goes over here on this side where the rubber is. And a lot of times you just push in the rubber and it'll hold itself in place.
Yep.
Just like a CT70. Okay. I'm gonna stick this up in there. Should be able to get it.
Hold on a second. Your spacers
Oh, yeah.
coming out. There you go. Now you go.
Now we should be able to get her in there. Yeah. Use that. Get these things right in there.
Is it hitting that, or if it's got a tube inside there, a spacer, that.
pretty good. There's nothing in front of it. Man.
There you go. You gotta hit the right spot.
Get in there. All right.
And then the nuts right there. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll be curious to get it on its wheels and get the kickstand underneath it so we can get it uncovered and take a little deeper look at just how much it resembles the CL70 and the features this one has.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's gonna work out okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to get the handlebars and.
There we go.
So
Okay.
do you have the caps for these risers?
I do. Okay. Now, I noticed when they did an uncrating on YouTube, I don't remember the name of the channel, but the guys were complaining when they got these bikes that their caps were stripped out. Hopefully these are not. They seem to be pretty tight when you took them off, so. I was also looking at the reviews on this. They're saying, I want to say they were like, top speed on these were like 55 miles an hour.
That's what my CL70 with a 125 does. It's about 55.
So I don't know if that's going to vary.
And I don't know what size. We'll look when we get it to where it's sturdy here. We'll look and see what size sprocket it's running.
I think we're pretty good.
I think it's pretty good.
Those are
Awesome.
good and tight, so.
Awesome. Okay.
Good. All right, what next?
I'd say, yeah, let's go ahead and let it down off of this stand. And do we have it? Okay, you got kickstand and pegs right there.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take it off of this and put it on like 2 wheels, and then I'll hold it up. Or you.
Okay. Now, I would assume the bolts are probably in the bottom of the
That's what
motor.
I was getting ready to say the exact same thing. I'm hoping that they remembered to put the bolts in the bottom. If not, I have found that these aftermarket engines, it's the same bolt and thread. I think it's an M8
Yeah.
by 1.25 thread. It's the same thing that all the Hondas use.
Okay. Lay down on the floor.
Probably.
Yeah, I get it. Let's see. Like a 10 millimeter. Yeah. Yep. All these bolts are pretty much the same on these bikes.
Yeah.
You want to work on this, you gotta have 1 or 2 wrenches and you're good.
Couple things I noticed from looking at it right here while Brian's working on the foot pegs. It's got a 1 down, 3 up manual transmission, so it gives you that real motorcycle feel. That's the same shift pattern that the larger bikes have. It's listed as a 125cc, but it's got stamped 127cc on the side, so that's good. You get a couple extra there. Most of the time when you buy a Lifen 125 or something like that, oh, sorry, can you get it underneath that brake pedal?
I got it.
They're actually only 119cc, maybe 123. This one's actually 127, so that's kind of nice. It's got electric start. It does have all this California emission stuff.
I'm not sure if I need all that.
Yeah, I took it off of one of mine. This tube that comes down here at the head. I wound up it bolts. It's got 2 bolts underneath. I wound up cutting that off and just welding it solid and then bolting it back on and got rid of all this. But
Okay.
what do you say? You got them in there?
Yep.
Here, I'll tell you what. While we're working on this side, you want to put
Yeah, look at that fancy dancy thing. I'll probably change this over to a CT70 because I'm not a heel toe guy.
I am not. I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm not a heel guy either.
Yeah.
Some people love them.
Even if I have to go as far as to get just a regular life handle, I'll probably just do that.
Yeah, I think on one of those two Chinese bike, the CT70 clones that I got this summer, I just cut that heel off, just cut it and ground it smooth.
Yeah,
just
use
use the toe shifter part of it.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think it's on.
Yeah,
there.
I think you got it.
They're kind of weird because
Yeah, it's got such a wide.
such a long stroke on it.
Yeah,
and they only end up going with a third of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks good.
Awesome. So, I think we're really down to just turn signals, and it looks like they did not put for some odd reason they don't have those, so you'll have to take those off. And
That's not a problem. Oh, those are a wee bit smaller.
they're probably an 8mm.
Yeah, I've got a set over here. So I think. So, Mike, how many years do you think you've actually been into this?
The first bike I bought, we were at an auction, garage sale auction, and it was in 1992. And
Oh yeah,
we
you've
bought
been doing this a lot longer than I have.
we bought a. Do you remember that, Amy? For those, my wife Amy is behind the camera back there, guys. It was an auction.
We were at an auction, but the kid next door came over.
That's right. The bike wasn't even in the auction. We bought another bike in the auction, and afterwards, after it was all over, this young man came up to us and said, "Hey, I've got a bike. Do you like bikes? I've got a bike I'll sell." And it was an SL70.
Oh.
And he said, "I cannot get it to run," and it was beat. And so I bought it for, I think it was $40, if I remember right, and took it home. And of course, this is 1992. This is pre-internet days, so had to go to Dryer to get parts, and Dryer Honda for those who aren't in the Indianapolis area. And I had a fantastic time rebuilding that bike. Painted it, repainted it red. I did not put at that time, because like I said, there was no internet. I didn't put the white. Oh yeah, now she's looking like a bike.
Look at that! Wow.
Yeah. I just painted it red. Put a brand new seat cover on it. My son takes it out. I think it was on the very, very first ride. Is that right, Aim? It was the very first ride. He downs the thing and rips the brand new seat cover I put on it.
Man.
But that was 30 years ago, and he still has that bike. It still has the same ripped seat cover on it. But I think I've said it before on my channel. I grew up, my dad was a mechanic. He worked at a scrapyard in Columbus, and he was a motorcycle mechanic. He was a motorcycle nut, and so I grew up with bikes, and he put me on little Z50 and CT70 at a really early age. So
These are Allen sets. Luckily I have my Allen wrenches out. So,
what about you? When did you get started? How, in these Trail 70s?
I don't remember the exact year,
Yeah.
but it was like 1 or 2 years. And it was actually a year after eBay started.
Oh, okay.
So I want to say it was like 2003.
Okay. All right.
Somewhere around there. And first bike, I got it off a guy at work. I always wanted when I was a kid, and Mom and Dad didn't have a whole lot of money back then. But I got that bike for $40, and it was complete. I mean, it was trashed. And wife was laughing at me. She said, "I don't think you'll ever get that thing running." And I said, "Well, I'm just bought it for fun because, I never had one when I was a kid and always wanted one." Well, the funny thing about it is back then when we had dial-up,
Yeah.
and you would go in there and look and see what you wanted, and then you would hit the button, and see if you won it like an hour later. So
It wasn't instantaneous like it is today.
no,
huh?
you go in there and be excited. It's like, oh my gosh, I won. It only took me an hour. And then it takes you an hour to get it paid for, and hopefully. And back then, when eBay first started, there was no such thing as PayPal. It was
Yeah.
a cashier's check or a
Is that right?
yeah.
See, I don't think I generally joined eBay until a few years after that. It was later, 2007 or 8 or something like that. When
A couple of years later, they started the PayPal thing, and I got on it, and it was like night and day. It was so much better. And,
yeah.
But yeah. So that's and then next thing you know, I got to where the first time was the best time when I actually took 2 motors and made one, because the other one was completely trashed. I picked the worst one to try to get going. But I took it. I mean, I had it all the way down to the cases, and that's how I learned how to build the motors the very first time.
Yeah.
And that thing was not pretty, but it ran.
See, that's, and I grew up with a dad that was a mechanic and had engines tore apart all the time and so forth, rebuilding them, but I just never picked up that bug on that part of it. For me, like I said, I want to go a little bit faster, I guess. I like the bigger engines, and so for me to spend the money on doing an engine right, and I could get just a Lifen for half of that, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna go that route. So
And the Life-A motors, a lot of people don't realize when they first started making them, they were not refined, and
yeah,
the gears in them were junk.
yeah,
And as they went, they progressed and got better and better, and now they're just as good, if not more bulletproof than the original 70s were.
yeah.
So they're really making a big difference in these bikes. Man, that one there, the threads are messed up on it.
Oh, it is?
It's going in, but the other one.
Oh, they actually have that part threaded, huh?
That part on this one is.
I would have thought that the bolt will just pass through that and
It
thread
should.
it into the fender.
I know
Yeah,
that's
we,
a little bit.
I think it was around 2015. I hooked up with some this young couple that were putting Lifen engines in. I think they were CT90s or something like that. They lived in Oregon, Washington State, something like that, and they started off and they put 15,000 miles on those bikes in one summer and went all the way across the top of the United States, all the way over to Maine, down the East Coast. Their whole plan was to circle the United States, and they got through Texas, and they were starting to get toward the end of the year, and they were it was getting cold, and they were going to head into some colder weather, and they called it quits. But they put over 13 or 14, 15,000 miles on those bikes in one summer on those Lifen engines. So
Devin got one of those mopeds, and that thing.
I didn't have a wrench to tighten them. So
Okay, cool. Is it like a?
It's looks like it's a 14 millimeter maybe.
Okay. Let's see. Here's a 13 or 15. I only got 14.
You might have to take the headlight off to. No, I think it's a 14.
Okay. Great. Man, this thing's getting close.
Yeah, Brian, I'm just going to leave it loose because I think you might have to
Yeah,
pull the headlight to get that actually all the way tightened up on there.
Now, one thing that's important about this bike, and I know on the review, they said basically when you get this bike out of the crate, you need to take the time and go through on every nut and bolt on this bike to tighten it up. Because a lot of times they just kind of throw everything in there and throw it together, and they slap it in the box. They don't really go through and tighten everything up.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think so, my friend. It's a pretty good looking little bike.
Yeah, I guess I couldn't see the sticker on here.
Yeah.
That's somebody had actually said that the tank was indented here. This must be a different model.
Maybe.
But yeah,
okay.
I like it.
Let's shut off our cameras. Let's clean this up with a little bit around in here, and then we'll turn back on. Let's do a little closer walk around.
Yeah.
That sound good? All right, let's do that.
I'll start recording.
So are we ready to put gas in this, Brian?
Yep. Yeah, I gotta.
What does that tank actually looks really well. I didn't bring a flashlight. You got a flashlight
No.
by chance?
Right there,
A
Dan.
little pin light or something? I'm just
No,
curious.
here's that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not bad
Yeah,
at all.
not bad at all. Pretty clean.
I can live with that. So, once you get it all done, you kind of want to do a visual, kind of look around the bike and see if there's anything that might have missed at the factory. Sometimes they do some crazy stuff on these bikes. Leave out a bolt here or something.
Yeah, this one looks pretty good.
I guess what we need to do is put oil in it, or check the oil actually.
Right.
Should have a braking oil in it. Most of these, I think they're what, 10W30 or 40.
I've done some research. I kind of think that the oil they put in there, I think it's a gear oil. I think they do it because gear oils are help keep the rust off of the internal gears. It's okay to run it for a short period of time, which I usually do. I usually run it for a few miles before I change the oil. But I actually think it's gear oil more than it's engine oil or motor oil.
I guess I forgot to mention that I got this bike. It was a special. What was the special on it? 7.
We found it in 2 different locations. We found it at Power Sports Max, and they had it for $749.99 or something, and $280 shipping. Wasn't it $1,030?
$1,029 out there.
$1,029. And then it's also available on Amazon. It's a little more expensive. I want to say
Yes.
you're out to get it shipped to you. It's right at $1,400. I think it's $1,000 for the bike and $400 for the shipping, if I'm not mistaken. So
Now, that includes everything. I mean, that's tax and everything. They
Yeah,
ship
right.
it to your door for
$1,030 and you're done.
Yes.
You don't have any other cost other than
But-
to go to the BMV and get it licensed.
That's
You'll
right.
have your own cost on that. So
But I don't know if it's that now because that was a Christmas special.
I looked today; it's still that price.
Is it really?
You can still
Wow.
go to powersportsmax.com and look up a X Pro 125cc, the X25. Does it say it on there? That's the model.
Yep,
X25. And I looked earlier today, and it still was a $749 with
Right.
$280 something shipping. So yeah.
Now, another feature that this bike does have, it has electric start and kickstart.
Yeah.
So that's a great feature.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For a bike this size. Yeah, I would have the electric start. I don't when I build a Lifen on a CT70. A lot of times I don't mess with the electric start, but for something like this, perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there and beat on it all day.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna throw some gas in this thing, and throwing funnel's a little overkill, but
That's which side? So the
I think we're good. I don't see any. Looks like little lines and
all
everything.
right. So the petcock's coming off on this side.
Yeah.
So you got dual petcocks. You got one on the tank here, and then the carburetor actually has a second petcock down here. So
That's kind of odd.
yeah.
Little double X.
So I'm wondering, is there a crossover in the tank? I don't see one. So it only exits, the fuel only exits the tank right there. So there's just the one line. Okay.
And this is clear, so if we know.
Yeah, we'll know when it's got fuel.
Yeah. So, all right, let's throw some in there. See what happens.
See how well this Chinese paint holds up when we spill the fuel.
Well, hopefully with this big of a funnel, if we
If we spill it, we're in trouble,
we've
aren't
got
we?
some problems there.
Man, he's going for a long ride.
We're not gonna fill it up, but
Oh, you're
we're
good.
gonna put. I got.
You're
a
good.
towel here. We'll pull that out. Towel.
I was curious how many teeth are on the sprockets. We can't see the front, it's all covered up. A lot of times the rear has it printed on it. I don't see it printed on this one. It's got a bolt-on rear sprocket instead of the rubber dampener type that's on a Trail 7. The original CL70s use the same setup that a CT70 has. The sprocket had 4 pins and the rubber dampeners, and it was held on by a snap ring. it seems like the Chinese replicas have gone away from that, and they all go with a bolt-on sprocket.
I
So
wonder why. Do you think they'd have more pull?
yeah, I don't know. I'm personally I've ridden bigger bikes, but we got a leak.
The leak, probably the.
But I haven't ridden any of the smaller bikes that have this setup. I kind of prefer the dampener part of it, but this, it works.
Probably on the petcock up here where it's, yeah, it is. It's right here.
Is it leaking there?
I don't know if it's leaking out this nut here.
Because is the petcock to say if it's on or off? Because I'm not seeing any fuel in a filter yet.
Okay, I think it's in off position. How about that?
No.
No? How about that?
Not yet. Certainly we got gas fuel over on that side of the tank, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
You might have to kick it. It might be suctioned in.
No, it's gravity fed, best I can tell. I don't see anything where it...
So this, it's leaking up here. I don't know where it's leaking from the petcock. It's leaking.
It's dripping up here.
Okay, I think I got it. It was leaking out this nut right here.
Okay.
There's a, well, maybe.
Oh, it's leaking out of the
Still
petcock
leaking.
itself. Yeah.
And that's the thing about these bikes. These parts are not real refined. A lot of times you'll end up getting something on them that's not correct.
Well, but I'm also curious why we're not getting any fuel in the filter either.
None.
None whatsoever. So something's up. Okay, wait a minute. Here it comes. Here it comes.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm getting fuel everywhere here.
That's all right. I get fuel all over this floor all the time. So.
Okay.
Okay, so it is actually, we got fuel, and it's pointing in a downward position.
Yeah, I don't have a good light over here. This petcock's also pointing straight up and down, which I believe is going to be on. I'm not 100% sure.
So here's I've seen a solution to this before. You guys are going to see some of my rigging. We'll see if it works. So a lot of times these have got like a brad in them right here. Okay, a lot of times they get those in there and you don't get them tight enough.
Oh, they're just like a rivet holding it. There's no screws holding that outside.
Right.
You're going to just pinch it.
So what you do is pinch it a little bit. A lot of times it'll fix that. We're going to try it and see what happens. If not, I will definitely have to get a new petcock for it. It's not a big deal.
It looked like the same as like a Z50 petcock would probably bolt right on it too.
Or what I have done before is to fix this, we went in and drilled these out and with a really small drill bit, put a screw in them and just kind of rebuild them. Okay, so actually, I think it quit leaking. Gee, it actually worked this time.
Well, there you go.
So, lights come on, turn signals, yep.
So it's running the headlight off of DC because the headlight's running directly off the battery, not running off the stator power. That's the way my bike was too. You can actually, it's pretty easy to change that if you want to, but wow, it's got full lights and instrumentation. It's got the canceling turn signals where you just push the button in.
Great.
Hey, it's even got a horn.
Everything works so far.
All right, Brian, there you go.
Well,
Devin, you want to see those fire up?
Yeah.
You'll have to take it out. It looks like it's still leaking just a little bit.
Yeah,
That's not a big deal. If we can get it to run tonight, that would make me happy.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and call the company and say, hey, send me a
Send a
petcock.
petcock. And
I did hear that if you find something on these that's wrong, you can call the company.
Okay.
And they're pretty good about replacing whatever it is, if it's
You
a
should be
minor
able to-
deal.
Let's see, there's a choke over here. I'm not sure which way is on or off. We're going to go up and assume that that's on. See if the electric start works.
You got me kidding.
Look at that!
Look at that. Yes.
All right, hang on a second. Let's see if there, that's the choke off. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Let's see
Okay.
if the kicker works.
All right.
Devin would love to
Now
take
wait,
it for a
turn
drive,
that back
but,
on, or does it? Okay, yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Man!
I like that.
right on the box. Wow.
That thing works great.
That is awesome.
That turned off. Gotta kick
We,
it back.
Yeah.
He may have to adjust the idle and do some things on the.
Yeah. The guy that unboxed his on that other video,
Yeah.
he had to run it a little bit to get the juice flowing in it.
Got it.
And then it ran
And
fine.
then this is your high and low beam indicator
Yeah.
right there.
Turn signal on everything.
Yeah.
It all works. Can't wait to ride this baby. What's this?
What's
Is
that?
your tail light?
No. Okay. So this switch that's all the lights off.
Yeah.
This has just your tail light. Well, it's turning everything on. And then what's,
Here, yeah. Your indicator, instrument lights.
it doesn't look. I'm not seeing any difference between these two over here. It looks like they're the same. So, but you can turn all the lights off if you want to by going
Like
all.
that.
It never turns the headlight on.
The
Only the
headlight
tail light.
always has to run for safety.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
just turns the tail light off.
Okay.
So if you're running from the cops, you turn it.
Yeah. You have to put the wires in front of the headlight.
I'm not gonna do that.
Great.
This baby works great. Can't wait to ride her.
So what do you think? Think all right? I think it looks pretty cool. You
Yeah.
mind if I sit on it?
Go
Can I
ahead.
sit on it? I'm just curious about the size and
She's perfect.
man, that's a nice little
You're exactly flat-footed on the pavement.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
where's your leather cap?
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like and it's got a half a mile on it. I really like that it's got a mile per hour speedometer
I do
on it.
too.
That is, to me, is a huge, huge bonus. And it comes with mirrors that are in a box. Brian can put those on.
Yeah.
Finish up some of the few little details later, but I don't know. What do you want? You want to take?
I like the cafe's
Yeah.
style seat.
Yeah, the original CL70 seat was just, your basic flat. They've tried to give it a little sportier look here. I like that as well. That looks nice.
If you really want to get crazy, you could throw a couple of Honda emblems on here,
Yeah.
or maybe a CL sticker on there, just to kind of give it a little bit of a dress up.
Right.
I noticed they did make this, it says X Pro on the front, and before it had another name on it. It was
Oh, it did?
started with a B. I can't remember what it
Okay.
Beep or
Huh.
yeah. They changed the model of it just a little slightly this year.
Slightly. Huh.
Yeah, turn around and see what the
See, so they can
muffler
see
and
the other
everything
side here. And
got the torpedo style muffler, kind of like the CT90, but it's underswept.
it's got both a regular kickstand and the other stand, the center stand, which is nice. One thing I wanted to look at, and I was curious, I saw somebody on Facebook ask about an upswept exhaust, and this is just a standard CT70 K0 exhaust, and it should bolt right on. Now, obviously, it's not going to have a mount here, but you'd have to get rid of the smog stuff to be able to push it in close enough to the bike. But if you relocated the mount right here, you could probably get it to mount right on the top of the shock right there. And you could have a scrambler type pipe like the original CL70 rather than if you don't want the lower swept pipe. So that's pretty cool. You could use that if you wanted to.
I'm wondering if a CT90 is a little bit longer.
Yep, it might.
So a CT90 would actually probably fit
Right.
with a little
Or
better.
if you got a CL70 exhaust,
Yes,
it
CL70
would
would
probably
fit.
because the original CL70, it didn't mount directly to that. The exhaust came up, and then there's a little piece of steel, a bracket that goes from this post down to the muffler. And I know, like when I put a Lifen in my CT or my CL70, because the Lifen is a longer stroke and a longer engine, it pushed the exhaust toward the bike a little bit. So this bar, instead of being in line with the shock like it was supposed to be originally, it's offset just slightly, but not a big deal.
So it doesn't touch the shock? Or
Yeah, it doesn't touch the shock, but because of the longer engine and pushing the exhaust forward, that bar is slightly clocked differently. So
yeah, I think it's great. I'm pretty pleased with it.
yeah, I am too. That's you know, for just the first impression, I would think if somebody's interested in one of these, you know, it looks pretty good right out of the box. We'll check in with Brian in a few months. Well, after we're in the middle of winter now, so
Yeah.
next spring when they get some miles put on it and kind of see what your impression is.
Actually, here in the next few days, I'll take it for a ride. Maybe fix a few things, tweak it, take it for a ride, and get the specs on it, like top speed and you know how the brakes feel, and you know the pros and cons of the bike. Because I know you're all going to want to know what's cheesy on it and what works great.
Right. Hey,
So
it's got an interesting feature I've never seen before. Maybe they're on bigger bikes, but I've never seen one like this. So we've got the headlight in the low beam setting. On the back of this control is a button. If you just want to just go to your brights real quick, you can just pull that button.
I'll be nice.
That's cool. It's kind of like a
So
car.
yeah, so instead of flipping your headlights to the brights, you could just pull that little button, and it won't stay on. It's only, you know, on for as long as you hold it.
It's just let somebody know that their brights are on.
It's something
so-
if you need to flash your lights or hold your brights on for just a second. So
I noticed it does have the old style CT90 style
tail light.
Taillight.
Yep. Yeah.
and
Yeah, you'll have to go through, and they've got all the reflectors covered in plastic
everything's
and
covered
so
in
forth.
plastic.
So, all right.
So,
Well,
yeah, I think it's I'm pretty pleased for what I paid for it.
yeah.
I think it's going to be a fun little ride for Devin, and I think it'll be definitely a something that he can take to the license branch and take his test on.
Yeah.
I took my test when I got my motorcycles license. I took it on a 250 Honda
Like a Rebel?
Rebel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
And
I don't even remember. Did I take a driver's test, or did I get into the motorcycle endorsement before Indiana went to a rider's test? I can't remember. I don't remember taking a rider's test. I think that was back in the days. They just, you know, if you wanted one, they gave it to you.
A-Bake did ours, and
Yeah,
you,
right.
you paid a little bit of money, and you
Yeah.
just went down and took it, and if you passed
Yeah.
it, you went down that day and got your license. So,
Awesome. Well, as far as I'm, you got anything else you want to do with it, or are you complete for
no,
tonight?
I think we're good for the night.
Okay.
This was the main thing, just getting it out of the box and getting it running, and
Yeah.
I'll tool with it and get it running really good, and we'll take it for a ride and do another review on it.
Cool. All right. Well, for the guys on my channel, on Mini Bike Mike's, I appreciate you watching and hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions on this bike, hit me up or hit Brian. Do me a favor, go check out Yorkie Moto Garage, and Brian, give him a like and a subscribe on his channel, and you'll probably see some more videos on this. So if you got anything
And
else,
likewise with my people, if you have not been to Mike's page, go to his page and subscribe and like. And he's got a lot of good videos, and between he and I, we will both keep you entertained.
There
I
you go.
promise you that.
there you go.
And I think I've got 40 or 50 videos on there, and I don't know how many you
I
have.
think I'm pushing 150 now.
Oh my
140 or 150 videos.
So there's enough there you could take a whole weekend and just do a little binge watching and
there you go.
do your own thing. So thank you all so much. I want to thank
All right.
Mike and Amy for coming out, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Yep.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.